Welcome, you panty waste, to TP For Your Earholes. My name is Patrick Schmidt. I'm one of the two co-hosts of this podcast. Who's with me?
I am Charlene Schmidt, and I am the second person of the co-host duo.
Yeah, although I personally think you're my number one.
Should I go take a number two?
Yeah. Today, what are we going to get into? Well, we had so much fun with our first episode about our favorite side characters that we decided to go there again. So this is part 2 of a who knows how many parts series. We really enjoyed this last time, and we figured we'd give it another shot. So, Char, what do you think?
There are so many characters that we did not cover in part 1, nor are we going to cover so many more in this episode that who's to say we could do a part 3, part 4, part 5 ad nauseum.
Yeah, and we picked 3 characters each, and we'll get into the criteria here in just a second. But before we do that, I would like to tell you a little bit about where you can find us, because we are all over the socials these days. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're also on Blue Sky, we're also on YouTube at TP For Your Earholes. You can follow us on all of those places. You know how to do that on social media. You like, you subscribe, you hit the bell, you do whatever you need to do to make sure that you're staying up with the latest things that we're going to share. And also, don't forget, we have tpforyourearholes.com. There's a contact form on that page where you can reach out to us directly.
That's right. And we love the interaction with you all. And lately, we've been getting some great stuff on YouTube. That's been so much fun. So thank you all for joining us there. And if you want to join us on all the other places too, we welcome it.
Yes. So let's dive right in.
Let's do it.
I think people who have listened to us consistently know we've already covered this. Even listeners who don't listen to us consistently, who have been listening for the last 2 minutes, have figured it out. They've put 2 and 2 together. So this particular episode, though, we do have to leave off some of our favorites that we mentioned from our first episode when we did this. So we're not going to talk about who.
We are not going to talk about Buzzcut, Daria, Tom Anderson, Lolita and Tanqueray, Attorney Joe Adler, and Cody, because we already did that.
Before we move on from that list, I do have a question for you.
What's that?
Can you say Lolita and Tanqueray without an accent?
No, I really can't.
I can't either.
I genuinely can't.
Yeah.
No. Speaking of our socials, you recently posted a photo that someone was kind enough to take at the Nine Inch Nails concert that we went to in September. And behind us is Tanqueray, but the liquor brand.
Yes. Just a quick reminder of our criteria. So those 6 are out, or 7 are out. But to be a side character, you have to have been in more than one episode.
Yeah.
And that's going to leave us a lot of room to explore, because there are still a lot of characters who were or are or maybe potentially will be in more than one episode.
Yeah.
And for now, we're sticking with those who already have been.
That's right. So I'm dying to know now, who is your first pick?
So my first pick is I don't know if you would call him a classmate of Beavis and Butt-head, but he's definitely a schoolmate of Beavis and Butt-head, and that is Earl.
Earl. Okay. I love this pick.
Earl is one of my favorite characters, in part because Earl really is, I think, what Beavis and Butt-head think of when they think of somebody who they really actually don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
Whereas as Todd is like, oh my gosh, I wish I could be like this guy. Earl is like, oh my gosh, we need to avoid this guy.
Yes. They want Todd to love them. They don't want Earl to beat them up.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't remember who Earl is, he is the character with the skull earring and what I would call the resting bitch face. Normally you don't assign that to a man, but we're going to assign it to Earl. And one of the things I love about Earl is every time he talks, he reinforces how he looks.
It's a perfect match, right? And again, you hear that voice that comes out of him, and this is not a guy you want to fuck with.
Absolutely not. And that is kind of his whole vibe, right? That's his whole aura is, I'm a tough guy, don't mess with me. And every time Beavis and Butthead even just enter his sphere of influence, they end up messing with him, and it's almost always in a negative way. And I do have a little positive thing I want to throw in there about Earl.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite episodes is Pierced.
Oh, yes. Such a good episode.
And Pierced starts with Earl and the boys having this cute little interaction.
Cute interaction. Yes.
Where they notice Earl has an earring and they're like, oh, maybe he's got a bra on too. And then Earl confronts him. You have a problem? Well, Beavis does. And then we get, I think, one of the cutest little 2-second music loops in history. And then all of a sudden they realize, oh, that's a skull earring. And they're like, whoa, that earring's actually cool. And he's like, you damn right. And then all of a sudden it's like this cute little bonding moment. And you know it's never going to happen again, but you get this cute little moment and it's pretty fun. So that's my first pick right out of the gate is Earl. I think an underappreciated character in Beavis and Butt-head.
Love that. I would love to know what he's doing in the old Beavis and Butt-head timeline.
Yeah.
What became of his life? Because we caught up with Todd. We should catch up with Earl.
I think that'd be great. I think it's only a matter of time before they run into him somewhere in Highland.
Maybe, unless he got the hell out of there. And if he did, good for him.
True. So, who's your first pick?
Well, okay. My breakdown goes sort of big side character who we saw many times, followed by lesser known but still side characters. Okay. So I got to go with the heavy hitter. And my first pick is Stuart.
Oh, yes. That is a heavy hitter. That is a very good choice.
I don't know how many episodes Stuart's in, but it's a lot. And poor Stuart.
Poor Stuart.
He's a dork. He's lame. He's that poor kid that we all knew. If you were that kid, you definitely knew what it was like to desperately want to fit in, but you knew you didn't. And that's why he gets stuck with the winger t-shirt. But here's the thing. Is Stuart a good person? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to a fault.
Yeah, he really is a good person. He has a good heart. And I think that's what gets him in trouble with Beavis and Butt-head.
Yeah, he's so naive. He wants to be kind. He wants to give people the benefit of the doubt. But that also can mean people will take advantage of you.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
One of the mantras that I love to replay in my head and live my life by is, don't mistake my kindness for weakness or stupidity. Well, Stuart is the embodiment of that. He kind of has a little bit of both embedded with his kindness, unfortunately to his detriment.
And he also wears the exact right t-shirt.
He sure does.
One of the things that I love most about Stuart is how much Kip Winger hates it. I love that every time Kip Winger comes up in a conversation about Beavis and Butt-head, he's like, oh yeah, he hates it. He hates that Stuart is the emblem for Winger forever and ever and ever in ways that are way beyond what Winger the band could have ever done on its own.
It's true, and that just makes me love Stuart's t-shirt that much more. Sorry, Kip Winger.
Hit the exact right person, apparently, in the exact right place.
It's sort of like the opposite of how Grim Reaper embraced the fact that Beavis and Butt-head hated them and called them out on how lame everything was.
Yeah. Perfect way to summarize it, too. Yeah. And again, very fitting t-shirt for Stuart.
Yes. Now, speaking of catching up with folks in the revivals, we did catch up with old Stuart when he donated a kidney to Beavis, which he probably trashed. And there was a house visit that, well, it didn't go very well. And Stuart's marriage, because he is married now, with triplets, no less, his marriage might be in some danger because I don't think his wife was very happy after Beavis and Butt-head destroyed the living room.
That was really the perfect setup for him as an adult. I think they nailed it. That's exactly who he became.
He married his mother because his wife looks exactly like Stuart's mom. And it is very fitting that they had triplets. They were probably trying to get pregnant. Maybe they were trying in vitro and all of that. And then, boom, here is a blessing of not just one kid, but 3. We're going to do parenting in hard mode.
I don't envy him at all.
I really can't say that I do either. He's probably trying so hard in life and has gotten only so far. And he's never going to achieve his dreams, probably.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of people who grew up with that weakness form of kindness, that's how their lives go. And it's frustrating because, they're good people, but they're good to a fault. And that's definitely Stuart.
And unfortunately, and maybe this is just because of the episodic nature of Beavis and Butt-head, he, just like Beavis and Butt-head, didn't learn a damn thing from his experiences. So in that respect, I don't feel bad for him because he could have wisened up. He could have gotten tougher. He could have gotten smarter. He could have had better boundaries, but he didn't.
And that's how we ended up with triplets in a failing marriage.
Poor Stuart. And now with all of that said about poor Stuart, do you have a pick that's maybe a little more optimistic?
Kind of. I also went for a heavy hitter in my round of 3. And this is my heavy hitter. This is my very consistent, everyone knows this person. That is our very good friend, David Van Driesen.
Oh, another kind soul.
Yeah. And we really have overlooked him so far. We have hardly touched on Van Driesen as part of this series. And I don't know, I feel like that's a missed opportunity. So let's get into it because I really do like this kind of interplay or this contradiction between Buzzcut and Van Driesen.
100%.
Yeah, Buzzcut is the teacher who has already given up on them. Van Driesen is the teacher who will never give up on them. And the truth is probably somewhere in the middle for most teachers. And being able to see that play out in real time, I don't know, it's kind of cool. And with Van Driesen, like being a teacher myself now, I get the optimism. I really do. And I think I understand more now where he's coming from because, once you give up on someone, it's going to be a toxic thing. It's going to be a bad relationship. It's going to bring everyone else down. And so the fact that he's able to stay so optimistic is, I think, a real credit to someone who's probably much stronger than we give him credit for.
Especially in this day and age, to stay optimistic and wanting so hard to believe in everybody, and especially as a teacher, where you've got nothing but everything working against you, actually doing your job and doing it successfully. Shout out to teachers, especially grade school teachers, who have to put up with so much crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it about Van Driesen that makes him this way? I have a feeling, here's my kind of fan theory on Van Driesen, if I may.
Yes, please.
Okay, in college, he took a lot of psychology classes, got really into it, and essentially subscribed to the human potential movement.
Sure.
That sort of thing. And probably did a lot of weed, which I think does help with the optimism.
Yeah, true.
And has just never left that mindset since his early 20s.
I'd agree with that. He definitely is like the prototypical hippie. It's really weird to think of Van Driesen getting high, though. I'm just going to say that. It is really weird to think of that.
Really?
Although it's happened, it's just hard to imagine somebody who life is his escape, right? He doesn't need to escape from life. Yeah, he's high on life, but he's also probably been high on some other things too. But he doesn't strike me as that type who's like wake and bake.
No, he's not a stoner.
No. So credit to him, although he is, let's admit it, weird enough that he's still single in what I'm assuming is his early to mid 30s. He's definitely like weak in as much as he lets people walk on him. At the same time, he and I would have vibed if he were my high school teacher. If I had had him as a freshman, I would have really appreciated him.
That is just it. Van Driesen is the teacher that I gravitated toward. If I had a teacher that was even somewhat like that it was the dream for this non-aggressive, non-competitive kind of a personality that I have where, Oh my gosh, you want to help me reach my full potential? Yes, I will do anything to help you help me.
And poor Beavis and Butthead just completely dismiss it. And I think there is some sort of, speaking of psychology, some weird psychological study that you could do that outlines the interplay between Beavis and Butthead and Van Driesen, in as much as how the boys see him as a target for their outbursts.
Interesting. Yes, because they do tend to pick on Van Driesen a lot. Okay, so any master's students out there who are looking for a thesis topic,
Here you go.
take it. Take it and run with it, and please share your work when it's published.
All we ask is like 10% of your salary for the rest of your life just for being that motivation.
Donation.
Something tells me that's not going to work.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, take that idea for free because you're going to do all the goddamn work. But just share it with us so that we can read it and appreciate it, please.
Hey, you know what? We'll bring you on the show.
Hey, you could talk all about it. We could do that.
There we go.
Awesome.
All right. So, Shar, who's your second pick?
My second pick is a newer character, exclusive to Mike Judge's Beavis and Butthead. She's shy, she's quiet, and she loves Beavis? I'm talking about Glennis.
Yeah.
I love this character so much.
Because
She is the loner type, but she's not stupid. She's definitely got some smarts in her, and she can draw a mean Metallica logo. She's got some serious talent. And why she's attracted to Beavis as a fellow loner is, well, interesting. It makes me wonder what she sees in him that makes her think this is a viable relationship. And in the future, if we get more of Glennis, I really hope we learn a little more about that. However, perhaps that ship's already sailed because Beavis already declared that his love for fire was more than anything, and that made her set a building at Highland High on fire. So we know that she will go to extremes and act out to try and get attention, and there's a lot of therapy to be done, I think, exploring that.
True.
I'd like to know more about this character. How about you?
Yeah, and I think she is probably one of the more interesting characters in that she does have a little bit of depth, and you can tell that. And I think she sort of takes the place of, you remember the first run, we had somebody who we haven't seen in any of the reboots, which is Cassandra.
Yeah, that's a great parallel.
Yeah, where you could tell there was other things going on, but you couldn't quite figure it out. I think she's the new version of that, and I love it. I think it's great to have somebody like that to play off of, and for somebody to actually be genuinely interested, particularly in Beavis, is something we don't get to see. It's fun to play around with that idea.
Totally. So I do hope there is still a little more in store. As of when we're recording this, we have not seen all of season 3 of Mike Judge's Beavis and Butt-head just yet. So there's a possibility there, plus potential seasons in the future. We don't know. No news yet.
Mm-hmm.
But here's hoping.
Here's hoping that she can serve out her arson sentence and that maybe Beavis can get in trouble for something too, and they can end up in the same juvie.
Romance at juvie. Oh, could that be the next movie?
Episode idea.
It could be a rom-com. Maybe not.
I'd watch it.
I would too, unfortunately. And I don't even like rom-coms, but I'd watch that one.
There you go.
Just to see how stupid and crazy and effed up it gets.
But Glennis is a good choice. I'm glad you picked her.
Hey, thank you. And speaking of picks, we're down to your third one already. What is it?
Wow, time flies when you're having fun.
Right?
My third pick, and let's just get his name out there into the ether, Harry Sachs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you not laugh at that name?
What were his parents thinking?
Were they thinking?
No, clearly not.
It couldn't have been. They were drunk off their ass.
Having grown up in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, I do really relate to Harry Sachs. Like, I think he was my neighbor. I really do.
He could have been, yeah.
He embodies all of these sort of stereotypes about people from rural America. And to be honest, he's not that far off. He really isn't.
Yeah, you can tell Mike Judge lived in Texas because he knows the type.
Yeah.
Sorry, Texas. I am stereotyping you.
But at the same time, it's not like Harry Sachs is a bad guy. And I don't want to misconstrue that. He's not a bad guy. He's just a blue-collar guy who's doing what he does and becomes sort of this foil for a lot of what Beavis and Butt-head ended up going through in their lives. Somehow Harry Sachs always ended up at the end of all the bad things. And it's really kind of interesting to have this mean, aggressive, almost like Earl 15 years later kind of guy end up as the victim as opposed to the aggressor.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool twist on the dynamic.
Great job of pointing that out. That's cool.
So when I see Harry Sachs come on the screen, I just know this guy's going to get it somehow. The question is how, and we love seeing the process.
We're going to have a good time watching him suffer.
No matter what happens, though, Beavis and Butt-head are probably not going to mean it. It's just going to happen, and I really think that's a cool character to have around.
Yeah, fun times.
So that's my third, and we love his name.
And I love that episode, too, because caller ID was a brand new thing at the time. I remember when we got caller ID, how exciting that was. You could actually see the number that was calling you. Whoa. It was like a crystal ball in there, man.
And I also like the episode from the reboot where Beavis and Butt-head end up taking over Harry's house.
Yes, because they think it's cool.
We get to see a little bit more of a peek behind the curtain and into his life. That was neat. That was really cool.
It said a lot about who he is.
There's actually a little character development there. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So who's your last pick for this episode? Take us home strong.
I shall do my best. And my third pick goes to the Burger World manager from the classic series because there's a new one in the revival. But I'm going with the original because, and this is a running theme through all of my picks, is I want to know more about this guy. I want to know many things, in fact. First off, why in the hell did this guy hire Beavis and Butt-head to work at Burger World?
Good question.
I would love to hear that interview or at least see that backstory. How did that happen and why did that happen?
Seriously.
Yeah, because he's not a Van Driesen. It's not like he believes in them and thinks, hey, if you just develop a little bit of a work ethic, you're going to turn out okay just like I did. Nah, this is just a very average dude who didn't get higher education. He's just going to work day in and day out. He's going to make just enough money to have a life and some of its luxuries, as he likes to say. And that might be about it. He's not going to live the high life. He's just an average big dude who probably goes home, has a few beers at night, and enjoys his life. But that is when Beavis and Butt-head are not making his life miserable as the manager. And it's interesting because as a manager, he's very hands-off with Beavis and Butt-head.
True.
He will give them instructions on what to do, but it's not like he's checking in on them. He's not checking to make sure they're doing things right. It's just, go do this, and then he's going to hang out in his office. So, yeah.
Yeah, not the greatest manager. And yet, he's getting frown lines, you know?
Yeah, and that's just it. He's not pleased with their work.
No.
And so why does he continue to employ these assholes except for our amusement?
Yeah, he's getting old before his time. And you might think, hey, maybe just a little more elbow grease, man, and you can really help Beavis and Butt-head turn their corner here. Maybe he just knows he made a mistake and he's like, I'm not investing any more time than I have to.
Maybe, but then why wouldn't he just fire them? But then on the other hand, maybe, okay, this is Highland. You're not necessarily going to get the smart kids like Daria to work at Burger World because they're going to go off and they're trying to go to college and get scholarships and stuff.
True.
At least they were in the late 90s. That's how things were back then.
True.
So is employment for minimum wage, most likely, that difficult for Burger World to actually get people in? So he's taking whatever warm bodies he can get? Is it that dire?
Maybe.
Ugh.
I also appreciate about this character that we never learn his name.
Nope.
He's in a bunch of episodes, and we never hear a name. We never see a name. He's never wearing a name tag that says, like, Dave. Nothing.
That really gets me, is he's working at a fast food restaurant where there's almost always a name tag, but we do not know his name.
No, it just Burger World Manager. That's it.
That's how we will know him forever, and probably the new guy, too.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, kudos to the new guy. He seems like he's a little bit more put together than the old guy.
And yet, Beavis and Butt-head still work at Burger World.
True.
Once again, why? What's the story? What happened? Why is this poor manager stuck with these two? I want to know.
Yeah, did the new guy inherit them, or did he hire them back?
Yeah. So many questions, and I don't know if we'll ever get answers, but I hope we do someday.
Yes. Well, I think that might be an episode.
I think we did an episode.
Cool. So before we go, we do want to give a big thanks one more time to the creators of the Beavis and Butt-head Wiki for all of their work in compiling what is a really, really great resource for us when we make these kinds of episodes. It really, truly is invaluable to being able to do something like this. And if you haven't seen it before, we'll put the link in the show notes and we'll post the link there, or you can JFGI Beavis and Butt-head Wiki. You'll find it pretty fast.
Definitely go there if you have not gone there. It certainly is a useful resource when we're compiling lists like this, just to, one, double check, is this a side character? It's not a one-off character, because we did a list on that too. And then, yeah, just to kind of give us some inspiration for all the characters that are still left out there. So, yeah, someday, I have a feeling we'll be doing a part 3.
This also opens the door for you, dear listener. We've now done 2 episodes. Now we've covered 12, now 13 people as some of our favorite side characters. I know we're still missing a bunch.
Oh, tons.
And we still want to hear your favorites and who are the ones you thought we might have talked about by now that we haven't. We would love for you to be able to reach out to us and tell us. You know how to get a hold of us. Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, YouTube, all at TP For Your Earholes, or hit up tpforyourearholes.com.
That's right.
Char, what are we going to cover next week?
Next week, we're going to wear things that are red, but not bloody, because we're going to talk about the holiday specials.
Yay!
'Tis the season, butt munches.
'Tis the season. I can't wait. We love the holiday specials in this house, and we cannot wait to talk about them with you. It's going to be really, really fun.
Looking forward to it. So, till then, everybody,